Yo, 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 let me get the music. Intro. There we go. Hello. I am Brother Dan. I'm Ryan's better half, I guess, on this show. And you are watching the Leafcast. We are the Way of the Leaf. We're here every Tuesday talking about the epic fantasy tale written by Robert Jordan, Wheel of Time. I hope you all are well. I am doing disco myself. Just running the board. Ryan should be here short. And we are in the final run of the book. We're talking about Knife of Dreams. We're starting on chapter 33, and we have some first-time readers here, guys. And I know that you like seeing my eyebrows. I know you like seeing my nose. I like my heart tongue. Even maybe my. But no, you are here for the first-time readers. Let me find it. See, I'm not. All right, here we go. So yeah, I told the bus driver, the guy should not be talking to you like that. Oh, hello. Oh, shh. Happily ever after. Hello.
Happily never after.
Ever? Hello.
Everybody.
Yes.
Hi.
I see.
I think I'm still kind of choppy. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Am I choppy?
Man, did you?
Not like you were before.
Okay.
Did you skip over 2 chapters because we were supposed to be on 31?
Oh, we're on 31. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Just looking at the wrong one. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. 31. Durr. See how dumb I am? How's everyone doing?
Your
Everyone
head's just full of stuffing.
Stuffing, yeah. Well, I have to say, after listening to Meat Pizza Sandwich a couple of times the last few shows, I really feel like whoever wrote those lyrics needs to have their head examined. Sorry, Hector, if you're out there.
No, this was Tim.
Oh, that was Tim? Okay, that was Tim.
He was in depth charge.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry,
You guys
Tim.
all know the people personally.
Yeah,
I don't know Tim.
Tim Healy's been in the chat a few times. Just like
Sorry,
I
Hector.
love
What?
Royal
These people?
Mistress. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you're
Yeah,
here.
hello all.
I'll do my
Ryan,
beauty queen wave.
Yeah, nice. beauty queen.
Elbow, wrist, elbow, wrist. I don't
So,
Look just above them. Look 2 inches above their forehead.
so the Gathering Storm is the next book.
See, you know more than I do.
Go ahead,
Gathering
Josh.
Storm. I don't have it yet.
The Gathering Storm is the next book, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So all our first-time readers have finished the book. I could not stop them from finishing the book. And so we're going to
Thank God.
talk as much as we can through this until we get tired or until whatever, but we're going to go. What?
We're going to go as far as we can.
Yeah, we're going to go as far as we
starting
can
over.
to see,
Okay.
just to see what we can do. And yeah, thanks, Josh.
It's getting real. That's
Yeah,
right.
I was getting real loud. I guess. Well, I mean, do we want to talk about your impressions of the entire book now, or do we want to wait?
I'm down to talk about it now.
I have no opinion.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, either way.
What do you
It's
think,
another
Rick?
suspect human being. Howdy, Ryan.
I don't hear you, son.
Made
Can you
it.
talk? Your voice isn't working.
Darling, we can help.
Oi.
He'll be back. It's a Tuesday.
There is a reason
It's okay.
StreamYard has to
That's
test
what
it.
happens when
You know what? Forget it. Let's go through the chapters. Let's just
You
do
know
this.
what,
Let's just
Josh?
jump in. Hold your
Cool.
nose. Do your best cannonball.
Ah!
Your
So
cannonball.
much splash. And let's jump into chapter 31. This is called The House on Full Moon Street. And all right, so Elaine
This
is
was the cliffhanger that we would have stopped at.
Yeah. Well, I think we would have stopped it. No,
We were supposed to stop at 32, right?
Had
We were
they not
supposed to read
allowed us
32.
to read the rest?
Last week.
Yeah, so we were supposed to start
Yeah.
on 33 tonight.
Right.
So 31, 32 we were supposed to do last week. We're doing them this week. This is Elaine. She's scolding the kin. She's like,
Yeah, she is.
yo, we're getting some murders. There's straight out murders, and we don't know what's going on. You have to have at least like 3 or 4 people. You can't have just 2 anymore. It's too dangerous. Right off the bat, as I turn the page, Ty Shar, underlined in blue. Quote, milk till it came. What do you think?
Milk
Milk to the king. I love
Till
it.
it came. Till it came.
Milk
One
till
word.
it came. I'm
Yeah,
drinking too much.
I'll drink to that one.
Milk till it came. Oh, for sure.
Okay, thank you.
1000%.
We learned that there were 3 women who had been murdered with the one power in the last 10 days, and very likely 7 more before that. She's all, come on, be cool. The door opens, and in comes Duhara. She's a red, right? Yeah, she's a red. She's like, you guys split. I need to talk to Elaine. Elaine's like, why don't you make like a banana and split yourself? Because Elena tried to have me kidnapped, and I don't like her, so I don't like you. So
I don't like you.
fuck off. And she's like, oh, you know what? You really should use me.
Oh.
I could be your best friend. She sent me to be your advisor. And Elaine's like, I don't need an advisor. And in fact, I don't even have rooms for you. You
go stay in the town.
leave,
If you
and
can find
just-
the
good
third
luck.
bedroom.
Go find an inn, I guess. Yeah, there's a Holiday Inn. Apparently, if you stay at a Holiday Inn Express, you can do stuff like dentistry and fly a plane and stuff, according to the commercials.
Dentistry. Oh, no.
I think it's like, yeah, I stay at a Holiday Inn Express. I can do it. Let's see. She says, so Denny says, quote, or whatever, Duhara says, you won't fend me off so easily, child. No one fends off the White Tower easily. Think, and you'll see I'm your only hope. She's all, well, all right, piss off. She goes. Master Hori shows up with, what is it, Samuel Hawk? What is that his name? Samuel Hawk? Hudson Hawk? Ethan Hawk. Ethan, he shows up with Ethan Hawk.
Obviously.
Ethan Hawke is the guy who has been tailing Maryland.
Well, so a couple things. I mean, there's this interesting like conflict in the kinswoman at the beginning that I wanted to point out, where like,
okay, please, yeah.
There's this like, it's basically showing the difference between like the Aes Sedai's power differential and the way that the Knitting Circle kinswomen like set up their power structure based on age. Being the eldest is like literally the term. And then there's this bit about the Knitting Circle not existing anymore because they're no longer in Ibudar, and like throwing out the whole like governance structure of the kin along with like the place that they're in, which I thought was fascinating. Like their government only works when they're in that one place, their governance model.
Right. It is situational, it seems, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting also, the Aes Sedai won't even ask each other their ages. It's like impolite.
Right. Whereas this is literally the opposite. Well, it's based on how old you are, how much respect you get, right? If I'm understanding it properly.
I have a question.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. What chapter are we on?
The
What are we
house,
starting
the house on Full Moon Street, 31.
31. We went way back. Okay.
Way back. We're in the way back machine.
Okay.
We didn't finish that last. You weren't at the end of the show. I think you had to take care of an issue there. But we stopped at chapter 30
Oh,
last time.
31. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is this red the red that has the very like dark colored red gowns that are almost black?
Dahara, when she comes in.
Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
I think it's so it describes
The red
her,
that
it
comes
says,
in.
The woman who entered vine woven shawl draped along her arms, so the long red fringe displayed itself to advantage. Was tall. She would have been. Her riding dress was so dark it might have been black, but the pale light of the sand mirrors picked up hints of red, and the divided skirts were slashed with brighter red.
Yeah.
So she never made any secret about her Ajo.
This is who I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she comes in. She's like, "Hey, a light
But
has
it is
sent
interesting
me."
that her gowns are really dark.
Yeah, they're almost black.
I think I'm on a delay.
I love how the later in the chapters too, the Ogier, the Death Watch guard, they say that it's actually a dark green. It looks almost black, and Matt later calls it black, which I thought was really interesting. That they called that out, and here we see the same thing where it's this red that's almost black. It did make me think back to this and look at the parallels between the Shanshan and the Aes Sedai, but
yeah, I like that too.
Totally. Nice.
So she's like, yeah, you're gonna need me. No one beats the White Tower. Like literally, we kill kings. You're nothing.
We kill teams, bitches.
We do it all. Oh, I need a cough. All right.
The Amazon of.
Oh, Ryan, hello.
Hey, buddy.
You can talk.
I can. But I mean, I was rendered speechless after you insulted my brilliant lyrics in my punk rock song that I wrote 25 years ago. But
you wrote that? Wait, you wrote that?
I'm sure I did.
Yeah, you probably did, Ryan. Now that I think about it.
Okay, well,
I'm sure I did.
I know that you need to get your head checked, so it's not a big deal.
Okay. Killer Instinct with a fistful of cash.
Driving
deep
the dagger.
Drive deep the dagger.
Yeah.
With a chuckle, turn your hope to ash. I like it, man.
Killer Instinct. Well,
all right.
After hearing it for a few weeks, it started to get to me. I was like, wow, I feel like I'm going to start doing irresponsible things.
Yeah. Like you walk over and you move something out of place on your counter.
Ryan, are you making fun of my OCD at the moment?
Yeah. You're like, I'm gonna go wild. I'm gonna move this book.
I'm leaving.
That sounded like a little bit, yeah.
Oh my! You scared him off.
Finally.
All
right, we got a bunch of people watching. Hey, everybody! Thanks for watching. Thanks for celebrating the end of this book with us.
Yeah,
if you haven't said hi,
it was my book.
Hi.
Yeah, Mr. Stovey's back in the house.
Hi, Mr. Stovey. This book marks my birthday.
Hi, Mr. Stovey.
Oh yeah.
What, it does. Wait, when's your birthday? What are you talking about?
It was just a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Today your birthday?
4 days ago.
Today's your birthday?
No. Saturday.
Yesterday?
Saturday.
Ryan, sing happy birthday, would you?
What day?
Nice.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Casey, are you wearing your shirt, or are you just covering yourself with your shirt?
Yes, I'm wearing a shirt.
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ.
I said the same thing when I was like,
I'm wearing a dress. Oh my god.
Jay's dress was the same.
It's the lighting.
Not my skin. That
It
would
is
be.
the same color as your skin, though.
It is a little
I think
similar.
it's a great look.
It's a little. I realize.
When you walk on
realize
camera, it's
now
like,
it's a
is
little
Carrie
weird, but it does.
clothes?
It kind of makes.
I wondered.
Is she just naked, like trying to figure this out?
I hope she had enough skin on before the
Trying to
show.
get a
Like,
stitch off?
Maybe that's why we have such a crowd tonight. I'm just kidding.
Nah.
No,
No, you should wear. You should wear.
YouTube. I am wearing. It's a dress.
So,
It's just new
okay.
color.
Oh, we've started a new trend.
For real.
It's not only is Carrie not wearing pants, it's is Kay not wearing clothes.
Well, and Carrie's wearing
Yeah, I'm.
fantastic
My,
Oh,
shirt.
God.
I you know, I have.
Look at that shirt. Look at that shirt. Look at that shirt. All right.
Wait, Dovey, you're a Virgo too? I didn't know that. It makes so much sense, though. Ryan, shut your fucking
Doesn't
cake
it?
hole before I punch you.
I'm on it. Everyone, join us in Discord. We're hanging out. We're gonna be hanging out after the show. But if you want to see some sausage being made, it's on Discord.
Ooh.
See, you know what? If whenever someone asks me my sign, I'm like, oh, I'm a Capricorn. They're like, oh, so much sense. Blah, it's a lie. I'm not a Capricorn. Ah. Take that, astrology.
That is the reaction that people have to my sign is the exact reason why I don't often mention it at all.
They're like, oh, totally.
Shit, I don't even know your
Did you
sign.
guys know that we're about to get a second temporary moon?
What?
That's some astrological shit that'll fuck you up.
What?
Is that the Tesla car? Did the Tesla
What
car
is
come out?
that?
No, there's a
Explain.
there's an asteroid in near Earth that's going to move into near Earth orbit, and we're going to have an extra moon for like a month as it's caught in our gravity.
And then will we see it at night reflecting the sun?
Yeah, we should be able to. Yeah, it's going to look like a second moon.
What will be like Star Wars? We'll be like on Tatooine, where I'm looking at
Tatooine, where like one will be over here, and one will be over here.
Fuck. Whoa.
Okay, guys, let's get back.
All right, sorry.
That's creepy.
I derailed the show over here.
So, so they
Fun
bring
shit,
in Hark. Hark is like, hey, yeah, I've been following Millar, like you said. Dude just drinks a lot and goes and hangs out at this one house. It's on Full Moon Street. It's owned by the lady. Hey, guys, pronounce that. Carrie, pronounce the lady Shiain.
Lady Cheyenne?
Cheyenne, exactly. Yeah.
Cheyenne. Okay,
Sounds
very
good.
the lady Cheyenne, and they're like, well, this lady, they what's his name? Park is like, oh yeah, one of them's name is Marilyn, the other one has a bunch of cats. Gotta be Phelan. Those are dark ladies. They're Black Aja. This is bad. And so if Lady Cheyenne is
Cheyenne.
if they're yelling at her, then she's probably Black or Dark Friend too.
What's the name of that female country singer?
Shania
Shania-
Twain.
Shania
Shania.
Yeah.
I always read it
I
as
was thinking of
Shania.
that too.
That's just like what my brain put in the word in there for the word. It's like, oh, Shania.
Wow.
Cheyenne.
Elaine is kind of conniving here with Hark. She's like, oh, okay, you're a thief. You can't stay in Andor. You're going to go to Whitebridge. I'm going to tell them that to arrest you. Or you could work and maybe get a little money, like below scale. You're not getting union wages, Hark. Like, but you'll stay in a jail and you'll keep your neck. And he's like, well, I guess I'm fucked. Okay, I guess I'll help you. They're like, all right, we're traveling. We're going to capture 2 sisters tonight. They're like, we're going. Brigitte's like, you can't go, you pregnant dummy. It's too hard. He's like, yeah. She's like, no, man.
Let me go, Mom.
I
I can do it.
So they see there's the house. It's the only lights on is up on the 2nd floor. They're like, perfect. Everyone's asleep. There's a fucking open.
Okay,
There's an unlocked door. Go ahead.
let's stop right there. I was
Yeah.
so mad at Elaine during this part. I'm like, you idiot! It's a trap. Like,
Well,
don't you understand?
But remember how she thinks that she can't die because her babies are born alive.
Right, so she feels like she's invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah, how annoying must she be right now, guys?
Exactly.
It's like, hey, Elaine, you probably should have a harness on that while you're trimming that tree way up there on that ladder. She's like, man,
I'm not gonna
she's
I'm not
joking.
gonna
He said, "Hey,
But
he's wanted to paint the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm gonna join the crew that paint the Golden Gate Bridge." Man, thank you. Sorry.
aren't
Your
some
little
of these,
t-shirt.
It's almost.
aren't
It's
some of
almost
these Black Sisters, aren't these some of the ones she's been chasing for like 8 books now? Like it started in The Dragon Reborn. Like, I mean, she's motivated to capture these women, but she's just not thinking straight.
right, and I think that may even be part of her motivation. Is like she even points out. I'm looking for it now, but she was like, these were the 2 people that pretty much she was sent out to hunt Black Aja.
Black Aja,
Her,
right?
Nynaeve, and Edwin back in the day, and she's like, yeah, and here they are. In I'm pretty much the de facto ruler. They're in my country. I have guards, and I have a jail. I just need to get them. Yeah.
She's the worst.
It says that so they're like, go.
She's so
We're gonna
entitled. Like I feel like if it was another.
Of course she's entitled. She's a fucking.
Sorry, am I on a delay?
No.
You are, and actually, I want to talk to you about it.
Okay,
How about
I'm
you
on
turn your? How about you
No?
turn
Okay.
your computer, honey? Turn your computer off and on, and if that
She
doesn't
already
work,
did. She already did, Ryan.
Shit. Well, we should maybe
I
redo the
did, but
internet.
I can try it again.
Yeah.
All right, no.
I can like let me hop off and like shut it down and then turn it back on instead of just doing the restart thing.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, Elaine's an entitled little bitch. And if anybody else in power
Jesus.
was to do this kind of stuff, I feel like it would just be different. Anyways, I'm gonna go hop off.
They're
and come
all
back.
the thing is they're all in power, and she's the only one who was actually a noble beforehand. Of course, she's entitled.
Right. She doesn't know anything.
She's supposed to be entitled.
Yeah.
She's a queen in waiting. What do you expect?
Yeah.
If anyone's
But she's
entitled
also
to be
just being,
entitled,
like she's
it's
giving
fucking-
every pregnant woman and every time a
No, that's
she's giving
Robert
every pregnant
Jordan
woman
just
like
being.
anytime, anywhere bad name.
Well, it's Robert Jordan
Well,
who's doing that,
yes,
not Elaine.
Robert Jordan as
to be
well.
clear, but
True.
There's-
I'm
There's a
gonna
couple
blame Elaine
problematic
right now though.
things going on at the end of this book.
So they so
Okay,
the
I'll be
four
right
of them-
back.
okay.
The Four Eyes Side, they're like, well, look, we're just gonna sneak in. They're stupid. They're all asleep. There's one. No, we're all good. They let me go up. All right, sneak.
Poor
Whoa.
Brigitte.
Go ahead.
Poor Brigitte gets put in such a horrible position during this chapter. Yeah.
Yeah, and the next chapter especially.
Yeah.
But she's just waiting with the other warders. They're just having a smoke. They're like, yeah, like they're holding out, just waiting. Yeah.
Just having a smoke.
Do they smoke BDs, Dan?
No, dude, it's camo and filters all the way.
No, it's all hand rolled drum.
Yeah. So they go in and boom, there's 3 women in the room. One's got to be Cheyenne. The other are the 2 Black Aja. They shield them. They're like, I arrest you for dark friends. Eat dick. All of a sudden, boom, it says, quote, suddenly sparks danced all over her from head to toe. Quote, she had to hold on to Saritha to stay on her feet. 4 women Elaine recognized entered the room. Asni, Timael, Chesmol, and Eldrith. 4 Black Sisters. She could have wept. Sarith groaned softly. They're like, oh, what'd you do? Oh, she's like, oh, I used this. A gift from Mogideon. A weapon from the Age of Legends. I can kill a man at 100 paces with this, or just stun him if I want to put him to the question. Cheyenne is like, did Morden send you? They're like, well, Elaine's the only one we need. And they say, if you're going to kill them, spare Carrie Ann. She is one of us. A gift from Adelaus, Vandy murmured. And Kareen's eyes went very wide, and she just gets stabbed. Vandy just buries her dagger right in Carrie-Anne's chest. Cheswell says their warders will be coming now. A little more killing to do. And Elaine's like, "Fuck, run away, Elaine, or run away, Brigitte, run away." There is one Taishar. The last Taishar of this I had was, quote, Elaine reached through her as if she were an angriel.
Nice.
Okay, Carrie, what did I miss?
Not much other than Elaine being a dumbass. Basically, run, Brigitte, or run. That was the last part of the chapter.
Right.
She's waiting outside with the extra people because they weren't allowed to go with her inside, and it's gonna get really crazy here in a minute in the next chapter.
Right. We'll jump right into that. It's chapter 32. It's called To Keep the Bargain, and it is from the point of view of Brigitte. And it says that, quote, Brigitte was leaning against the stone wall of this three-story house.
One thing before we go.
It rolled unfiltered in her lips. What's that?
One thing before we go on.
Uh-huh.
What do you think of when you think of a full moon? Like, what is the symbolism of the full moon in this chapter, Carrie? Any ideas?
I'm thinking about, like, when you think of, like, werewolves using the full moon to come into their true form, it's almost like the Black Aja are coming into their true form. Like,
Right.
They are exposing themselves, I guess.
I like that.
You know, and now that you mention that, Josh, it's harder to sneak around at night with a full moon, right?
It is, yeah. You get spotted, right?
You get spotted. You get caught.
That's one aspect of it. Like, there's a hidden light being cast that you didn't expect from the dark, which I liked. And then also pregnancy could be considered a full moon.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't, say that to her face, but.
But it did make me wonder if this is like making fun of Elaine for like
all the goat milk,
her indiscretion and goat's milk that she's been drinking. Yeah, goat's cheese.
You know
her
what?
Indiscretion of thinking about that it might be a trap when it's so obvious to us going into it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of indiscretion, let's bring in our special guest.
Special guest, 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 special guest. This is like my daddy, Elfie. Special guest, special guest, special guest, special guest, special guest. I forgot it was so long.
Hello, Joe.
Oh boy, another five. It's going to be a 5-hour long stream now.
All right, I love it. How you doing, Joe?
I'm great. How are you?
We are fabulous.
We're hanging in there.
Elaine just got captured by dark girls.
Is it fabulous or hanging in? Which one?
I'm fabulous.
Fab, man. Absolutely.
We're hanging fabs.
I wish I was in Atlanta this week.
Okay.
Oh,
Hi, is it better? Oh no.
much
You're
better.
better. Yeah, you're better.
Is it better?
Yeah, we'll
Better.
ride this donkey.
Damn.
I think it's as good as it's
Have
gonna
some
get.
space.
We'll ride
So
the donkey.
inappropriate.
We'll ride that donkey.
That's not filled with symbolism at all.
Her internet is a mule right now. It's slow and it's steady. So we're gonna ride that donkey. I don't know.
Yeah.
Chapter 32 is called To Keep the Bargain. It is Brigitte. She's sitting outside having a smoke, like we said, thinking sadly of Guido. When a bundle of emotions and physical sensations in the back of her head, her awareness of Elaine suddenly spasmed. She's like, oh shit. All like the other warders start like sprinting. They're like, fuck. What's let's see. She's it's like suddenly Venner growled an oath and shed his cloak. His blade was in his hand. He's running up the street. She's like, well, all right, Elaine's alive. She's our concern. Not these other ladies. They got their own problems. The name's Paul. That's between them all. We are here for Elaine. She's like, follow me. They haul ass to the Queen's palace. They're like, call all the kinswomen, call all the sea folk. Now, call the sea folk. Get them all to the map room.
All the king's horses and all the king's men.
I got a Taishar.
Oh, please.
Nice.
Birgitte heard the soft rasp of swords being unsheathed behind her.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
Wow.
I am down. Let's see. So she's like, all right, here's the deal. We're going to get some, we don't have any channelers. All, it says here, quote, all the Aes Sedai are dead. They're like, well, at least we got Aes Sedai. They're like, no, we do not. And they're going to be facing at least 2, maybe more. We know that there's 6. And so they get all the people into, everyone shows up to the map room. She's like, hey, listen, Elaine's been kidnapped. And she's the one that made this bargain. You want the bargain? You got to get us Elaine. You got to help us. We need gateways. You need to take us about a mile past where they're at or whatever. I don't know.
I mean, how convenient that Birgitte has like a fucking tracking system on Elaine right now.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah. Because otherwise she would have jumped right into the battle.
Absolutely. But she's like, oh, I've got this Apple fucking whatever they're called.
Yeah. Find my watch. Find my bitch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Air tagged her. Huh?
Bitch.
But yeah, she's like, yeah, I need you to make gateways for like thousands of men and horses. She's like, soldiers. She's like, hey, listen. Yeah, we got to go get Elaine. And if it says, quote, the other Aes Sedai are dead. What is your bargain worth if Elaine is lost? Amarilla certainly won't honor it. It's like, what will Zeta say if you ruin her bargain with Elaine? And Chanel's like, oh shit. All right. We'll drive you. We'll Uber you, Gateway Uber you, but that's it. We're not doing anything else. She's like, okay, cool. They get the Gateway Uber. Boom. It says, minus the crossbowmen and archers, there will be close on 12,000 men in that column, 2/3 of them mounted.
Ooh, 2/3 of them mounted. That's a lot.
That's
definitely a Taishar.
That's Dovi's Burning Man camp.
Absolutely.
I
have
2/3 of the men being pegged.
We get a little idea of like what's going on there. So there's a lot of gateways being done in Caemlyn. It says, quote, the graveled paths and grassy grounds have long been trampled to mud by hooves and boots. 3 other parks around the palace had received the same treatment to make places for weaving gateways. So like these cool parks are now just like these constructions or like these off limits things for like
they're like construction parking areas.
Yeah, they're all cleared out and
yeah,
waylaid. Gross.
Central Park is gone. They're like, whoa, whatever. Used to be the biggest tourist destination in all of Randland, but
all of Randland.
Yeah. Big trees.
Did you listen to the Audible version?
I've never listened to an audiobook in my entire life.
Okay, so the really cool thing about this specific one was just that like it went into this. Sorry, Carrie. I'll be quick. It went into this like quick like interview with Robert Jordan at the end of it, and that was fucking fascinating. Like he talks about so many things that you specifically, Josh, have like pulled out of the entire series, and I'm
Nice.
sure
I should
I'm
listen
sure a
to
lot
it.
of other people have too. But you think about it in such a unique way and like such an eye-opening way. You grab things that like a lot of readers don't grab. Like I don't often like pick up on the things that you're picking up on, and it's just,
We all have
it's
our
just
own
really cool 'cause he
skills,
does
for sure.
actually like say a lot of like, well, he does like say a lot of things, like a lot of references to exactly the shit that you bring up. So it was just cool to hear that. I was like, oh my
Cool.
God, Josh
Well, that's
has to
neat.
hear this. So yeah, I'll need to
Listen
send
to
it
it.
to you. Thing is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Anyway.
some audiobook like credits on Spotify. I could probably find it on there. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Just for that part. I could probably audio record it and send it to you.
Hey,
No,
whatever.
I won't do that because it's illegal.
Oh, I'd never
on
do that.
That would
YouTube,
be
obviously.
copyright.
Of course not.
No.
No,
I'll
you would never
text
do that.
Josh N. No. Oh.
So right before Brigitta's like set to go, she's getting all her men. Gaibon shows up,
Man.
and he's like, "Hey, so we're being attacked over on the Farmatting Gate. There's shit. I don't know. There's like 10,000 people, maybe, and 20. Make it 20,000 at the Farmatting Gate, then, if not more." And she's like, this is a real bummer. All right, I'll take what I need, but it's not all of them because we're being attacked. All right, through the gateway, we still need to get Elaine. So they go, they're ahead of them. Boom. Suddenly, she sees the wagon. She sees 7 women. She's like, fuck, those are 7 Aes Sedai. And it says, however surprised the Dark Friends were, they did not dither long. Lightning began flashing out of the clear sky. Gaibon's like, well, all right, I guess we're going to ride down there, right? Let's do it.
Whoa.
Brigitta's like, hey, Chanel, come check this out. She's like, what? I don't want to see these people fighting. She's like, well, yeah, this is what I wanted to see you fight. It says, abruptly, a leg-thick bar of what appeared to be liquid white fire shot out from one of the women beside the wagon. It quite literally carved a gap 15 paces wide in the lines. And that wasn't Tai Shar was, quote, liquid white fire shot from one of the walls. And she's like, this? I don't have any desire to see this. She's like, then stop it. If they kill all the soldiers or just enough to make the rest break, then Elaine is lost. Zaida's bargain is lost. You will have lost. And suddenly she's like, all right, yeah, fuck. And starts throwing lightning down. They take him down. They're like, take the others alive.
Take them all out.
Yeah. Chanel says, I shielded the women too. It's like, okay, that's a plus. Way to think ahead. You're outside the box. I like your thinking.
Yeah.
And it ends with Brigitte saying that Bloody Bond had never once carried any hint of fear.
I love that so much because it shows just how insane Elaine is.
Oh, absolutely.
That she believes so much in Min's prophecy that she never even questions her own safety.
And,
right. Yeah.
I mean, but fuck that. Like, literally, how many people died? Like, didn't we get a number? Like 10,000 dead or something?
Thousands at least.
Okay.
Thousands of
I don't
fucking.
think yeah.
Well, check your numbers, Dan. Thousands,
No.
10,000.
There was Bellfire. There was
millions
another bar
and millions
Bellfire.
of people. Millions of people died. Billions and billions of people died because of
Ryan,
of her.
it says, quote, here, there was a good many dead, though not so many as it seemed there should be. Brigitte had seen the same in battles during the Trolloc Wars when the power had been used. For every man who lay still, 2 or 3 were staggering to their feet or trying to stem a flow of blood. For every horse stiff-legged in death, 2 more stood on wobbly legs. The hail of fire and lightning continued unabated.
Yeah. Anyways, hubris.
They're hard to kill.
Total fucking.
Yeah. Like, so that stupid fucking baby is safe, but all those people are not. Good job. You and your stupid fucking little fetus can go on.
Ryan, you don't understand. She's invincible.
Hey, it's the son of the dragon reborn and the queen of Andor.
Yeah, if you believe.
Clearly, they're important, Ryan. More
What's up,
important than
Kev?
any other.
We love you, Kev. Okay.
What up, Kev? How dare you, Ryan? You know, aristocratic babies are worth like 10 poor people's babies. Okay.
Oh no!
No, yeah, I'm a royal watcher, and I try and steal the poop of the royal babies, and I just sell it on the black market.
Hey, you're doing the right
That's
thing. If you're using
disgusting.
eBay to your advantage, good job, Ryan. Turning the
You
waste
would
stream into
make more
profit.
selling Elaine's
I'm
milk.
so impressed. Next will be women's dirty underwear.
It's
Royal women, please.
Yeah,
Jeez,
royal.
Yes, royal
Yeah, I
women's
don't
dirty
think-
underwear. Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Can't you like triple the price?
And
for
they're
royal
knickers, Josh. They're knickers.
Nice, Kay.
Knickers.
Royal knickers.
Royal knickers. All right. Okay, I have a couple Taishars that I think are just great, but they're kind of long.
Do 'em.
Is it better than Royal Knickers?
Hold on to your knickers, all right, fellas.
Alright.
She and Carrie. She waved a small bent black rod, perhaps an inch in diameter, that had a strangely dull look. The thing seemed to fascinate her. A gift from Ogidian.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Sexy Taishar.
Right? Okay. She touched her lips. This one's for Mistress Dovey. She touched her lips with the tip of her tongue. I'd enjoy playing with the others, but they'd be a burden we don't need. All right. I have, time to open her mouth. And
Come on. That's just
and snarled silently. I don't know. Yeah.
That's a good one.
I gave you the no on that
I guess
one.
Ryan gave you the no-go.
Wow. How dare you? How dare you?
Right?
Hey,
That
Anyway.
was my idea.
So
Right?
dared. So absolutely dared.
snarl, huh?
Royal knickers. Oliver's ears.
What else in this chapter did you want to talk about?
I like this. I like the battle. I liked the part where the women bodyguards are like, "Hey, we want to fight too. Let us go down there and take part in this." Despite the fact that Elaine made a complete ass of herself and brought all these people to her death, to their deaths, I still felt like it was a emotional moment when everybody like just charged forward and they're like screaming, "Elaine and Andor!"
Elaine and
you know,
Andor,
like
Yeah. Didn't
That
it say
was like-
for the fetus?
yeah.
Save the babe!
Yeah, no, that was awesome. And there's
Yeah,
that.
it is.
Who's that one general who's just like can't? He's like not general nonplussed. I forget his name, but he's just constantly not. Is it Dylan?
Diabon.
Diabon. Yeah, that guy is just.
Diabon.
He's like, all right, let's go.
Ebon.
He's chill.
He's
like
all
someone-
handsome.
He's all
The
handsome.
fact that everybody's willing to fight for her and die for her, and she's not even fully queen yet. You know, it's
She's not
just,
even queen yet. Yeah.
yeah, it's just amazing how loyal they are.
Yeah.
Or are they
Let's
part
jump
of a
to
cult?
33 because it's kind of just like a direct continuation. We have Elaine in the wagon. Said the Dark Friends had taken no chances with Elaine, and right off the bat, Taishar, quote, head between her knees.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right?
Oh yeah, no, I was
Absolutely.
thinking about a plane crash, but that's fine.
1,000. What? Like you're nauseous, so you're putting
No,
your
I
head
wa-
between
no,
your
no,
knees?
no, like literally.
No,
I
that's
woke
what
up-
you do in a crash.
Yeah. No, I had a night. No, guys, I had a nightmare like 4 nights ago that Chris woke me up from. I was in a plane crash and it was going down, and I was like trying to reach across some stupid dude in between Chris and I don't know whether there's someone in between us, but I was like trying to reach across to hold her hand, and then like I was like thinking like, wait, I need to put my head down. Anyways, and then I woke up.
Wait, did you realize that you had wasted your life with the show and what you had done?
I realized that Case and I is my savior.
In
And
no
she's got
way.
my
What have I
back
been
when
doing?
I
That
am
man-
his hero.
right. That man in the seat between you, that was Jesus.
Wow. Oh no.
Chapter
What have I
33,
been
9
doing?
out of
So-
10.
I did want to mention there was
I love-
one symbol that I really liked.
Yes.
Quote, "They're all dead, except for Elaine," she told him flatly. There was no way to gild that. Dylan gasped, her face growing pale.
Fucking Elaine, man.
One of the clerks clasped her hands to her mouth, and another knocked over his ink jar. The ink fanned across the tabletop in a black stream and began dripping onto the floor.
Nice.
Such a like cool passage for like the Black Aja appearing out of nowhere and like killing all of these Aes Sedai and their warders.
Mm-hmm.
What did you just do with your voice just then, Josh? That was
That was
I don't know, did I do something? I don't remember.
yeah, the way you were
He's already
reading it
forgotten.
was like
No, yeah.
it was like
Well, no,
a
yeah, it was-
transportation to another world. You know?
It was very, very, very.
That
That
was
was
good stuff.
sexy
guttural.
time, Josh.
I didn't know he
Audiobook.
had it in him.
Were they?
You know?
Come on,
Yeah.
Ryan.
Put,
Jesus.
No,
put
no,
that
just
shit and
so-
put it in your portfolio.
So, wouldn't we all feel better if Elaine like felt bad about anything?
Remorse or like
Yeah, like, oh shit,
That's the
maybe I
thing,
should have
yeah.
done something differently instead of walk into a stupid fucking trap
That's
and get
the
a bunch.
thing, honestly. Yeah, like I'm all for being like positive in nature for the most part, you know.
That's
But like
no-
when you just like never have remorse about anything at all ever, and you're
Yeah.
never concerned really like about anything either,
Yeah,
because
you're in the wrong.
you
at
just
that point.
have these like assurances that are
But here's the thing.
false, but like you think anyway. That's so weird.
Well, here's the thing. Neither Matt, nor Tuon, nor Perrin, nor Rand, nor anyone, there's no character in this fucking book who would feel remorse for this. That's the world these people live in. Rand
No,
only cares
Rand's got
about
his
women
list of
dying. Hey,
ladies.
shut the fuck up. Rand only cares about women dying.
Yeah, that's better than
Yeah,
Okay?
that's
Nothing.
true. Rand doesn't care. He's killed
Matt
thousands
will
upon
kill
thousands, and
women.
he's not looking back.
Perrin feels
But-
bad about
But
bumping
Perrin
into people.
feels bad about everything. He feels bad about lots of stuff. I don't like Perrin, but he does feel badly. I think Perrin's overly obsessive, in my opinion, about
No
like
one gives a
how
shit about
awful
the
he
people who
feels about
die under them.
everything.
Tarman
Well,
Guyton is approaching. They're trying to fucking get rid of their ethics so that they can
Mm.
accept what they have to do in order to save the world.
And Josh,
That's
I
the
mean,
world
even
of Robert Jordan.
to piggyback on
Mhm.
that, I mean, what does Brigitte, how does she save them? She doesn't save it with the Gaibon running down a hill, getting bale-fired people. She saves it by getting someone who has the ability to save them, who has no inkling, no desire, no
Mhm.
bone in this at all.
Right. Mhm.
She's a pacifist. She wants to use her powers to make wind and shit. They made her kill at least one sister, the one
Right.
with the rod, and I think the other one's.
Well, she made 13 of them, right? Like they were all linked together. So if one of them does something, all of them have done it in a very literal sense. And I think that again is like a metaphor for Vietnam, right? Like I always look at all of this shit, especially this kind of
Yeah.
stuff where like none of the characters care about sending soldiers to their death. Like people linking and then collectively doing killing
Mhm.
is so a poignant symbol of Vietnam
Uh-huh.
for me.
Mm.
Do you think he's
That
making
it's hard to
commentary
ignore
about
in the text. Yeah,
Is
it's
he
absolutely
commenting on
Mhm.
the decision makers?
Yes,
For sure.
Yes, he.
And so I think like rather than judging the characters, we have to like take this in stride as
Oh.
a symbol for what Robert Jordan experienced as a human being and like what marks so many of that generation as like pacifists. Like this is why hippies exist, is this kind of thing, right? Like merciless, mindless killing by the masses of like innocent women and children. And that's why there are all these characters who are obsessed with like not killing women, right?
I thought it was the
like the
tyranny
way
of
of belief.
soap. I thought it
Yeah.
was tyranny of soap they were fighting against.
Nope.
No, it was tyranny of polyester baskets, and you can only have woven ones from now on.
Back to the
No,
old OG
Josh,
way.
those are great comments. I'm making light, but yeah,
No,
you're,
really,
you're
truly.
right. Like I keep.
There's a lot
hearing
of social commentary in this part of his writing about war and death. Whether like it's easy to see or not 50 years later, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wonder how the reading for us is going to change and evolve when we don't have Robert Jordan as like the main person writing this stuff anymore, but it's still his like ultimate story, right?
Yeah.
It makes me
But,
wonder if it's just going to be much more about the story and less of all this stuff. I mean, this is part of what makes the Wheel of Time so deep.
Hey, don't forget.
Yeah, agreed.
Sanderson had his
agreed.
own personal.
Absolutely. And I mean, if you read like
Yeah, but I have to learn now all about Sanderson. I don't know anything about him. I got to learn all about this guy that wrote this so that I know, like,
He was
that's gonna
college
help,
roommates
you know, it
with
really
Ken
does.
Jennings from Jeopardy.
What?
The thing about Sanderson is he's not nearly. He hasn't had the life experiences Jordan's had. Like Jordan came from a generation who really saw, like,
Yeah.
really were the
shit.
last generation to
Yeah.
see the depths of war without their choice, right? Like
Yep.
World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War. My mom is definitely not a hippie, Mr. Stokey. I'm sorry. She's like a conservative Christian Republican, but
Yeah,
If it took you
Wadaholic
long
is
enough,
swiping
Ben.
right.
Wadaholic.
He's swapping right for sure.
I love you too,
Wadaholic.
Wadaholic. Feelings mutual.
Well, let's jump into chapter 33. It's called 9 out of 10. It's Elaine. She has a head between her knees. But take out the her and just head between her knees. That's, I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah.
she's like, she's not feeling helpless. She has the prophecy, and she's like, yeah, Brigitte's gonna get me. I know. I have a savior coming. Quote, her situation seemed helpless, but Brigitte would not fail her. She felt Brigitte leap from somewhere miles behind her to perhaps a mile ahead, and she wanted to laugh. There's thunderous crashes. Moments later, the shield on her vanished. Her captors were shielded. Asni lay spread eagle on the road. That's a Taishar. Asni lay spread eagle.
Yeah.
The spread eagle, as she lay spread eagle.
Asni lay spread eagle on.
Spread eagle on.
All right, Josh, real quick. Josh, you're really pissed off people in chat. Christian Rapper's calling you out. He says, that's not true at all. We literally see Matt feel bad about his soldiers in his upcoming chapters. And later on,
he doesn't feel bad enough to not send them to his death. Their
So
death.
we're going to just
He does
forget
what's
about all
necessary, Josh.
For two
Okay,
on.
but
For one,
here's
for
I have
one
something
woman.
else to say about
For
this.
one woman.
Absolutely, people felt bad about killing individual people. But at
Yes,
this
they
point in
do,
the
they
story,
do.
they've abstracted themselves. Look, I'm not saying you all are wrong, and I'm not saying I'm
Can
right.
I say?
Go
I want to
ahead,
say
Chris.
something to your point, Josh, and also like I think that just trying to understand everybody else, like the development of the characters, I think is what you're like speaking to as far as like they came from this one place and they were like this one way and we've seen them just change so much over this like very small amount of time, really, and what we're seeing now is kind of jarring. I don't know that like necessarily Robert Jordan had the most like subtle way of developing these characters, because it does feel like it's just all of a sudden like bam, and 1,000 people to their death, and there's no like real like anything else happening. I mean, she took a fucking bath for 2 chapters last book. Like, it's just bizarre, and I'm not really following it like in this emotional way, you know, like I don't feel them changing, and then they're this different person that are making these big different decisions. It's just, but it is happening, and I think that that's what he's trying to illustrate, but I think it's just kind of choppy. a little bit right now.
Totally.
Maybe it's just like growing pains.
And I just want to make a nod too to like, imagine you are a queen and it's your job to make decisions, or the president of the United States, whatever. Imagine you're in a position of power, well, where your decision could lead to the deaths of thousands or millions or billions. How does that feel? And how do you as a human being live with yourself and conduct yourself in a way that is ethical and authentic in the face of that? And I think Robert Jordan gets at the core of what that is. Like, Elaine may be unlikable, but she's literally the person who's trained her entire life to make these decisions. And I feel like he writes her well in light of that. Like,
but she does stupid shit, and people she's gonna make decisions that cause
whether it's stupid shit or not. It's like, how do you not kill them, given who she is and her situation?
Well, they all died saving her from her stupid, like this. That's the point. Yeah, no, I think we're talking about two different points. So, like, literally, like
whether or not Elaine is a dumbass is separate from whether or not her position as a person of power is written well to reflect her ability to make decisions that kill thousands.
Okay,
is my point.
Josh, I think the only way I'd argue with you on that is that I think maybe he's using her to do that. I would argue that he doesn't use Matt to do that, for instance, or something.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, Matt does.
Well, you kind of lump them all together, though, so that's why I was like, I think there's a difference there.
I do lump them together because Matt, as a general, has to abstract away the pain of like feeling his men die. He does care a lot more because he's not a noble. He hasn't been trained his whole life to do this.
Exactly. He's been
thrown into a position of power.
Decisions. Yeah.
Sorry, if it sounded like I was saying they're the same, that's not what I meant. There's a spectrum, absolutely, between Matt as a general and Elaine as a queen. But they all have to make decisions that send people to die and live with themselves in the future after it happens.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's my point. Sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you for mentioning that, Joe, because that's not what I meant.
Yeah, I wanted to clear. Like, it was just a.
Thank you.
I think that is what most people are getting upset about in chat, anyways. So I think that that was helpful.
I'm not looking at
Darth Vader is here.
If I can just clarify, it says here, quote, I'd say as many as 500 or 600 dead, though perhaps a few more, twice as many wounded one way or another. So, I mean, 500 or 600. It was only 500 or 600 dead.
That's fine.
And then people with a limp. Come on.
Yeah, that's like 500 or 600
I'd
children
have a limp for my queen.
Daddy?
I'd limp for my queen. Wouldn't you limp for your queen, Ryan?
He's not, Ryan.
Yeah, no beans for Daddy.
So Guy Bond's like, hey, we should just, because Amarilla's off attacking the far Matta gate. He's like, we should just go and just crush them against the gate. If they haven't gotten in, we'll smash them. Although we have 3 times less than what they have, it'll still be pretty good. He says, quote, Taishar, behind them, we'll take them in the rear.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, baby. Taishar. She's like, yeah, that's probably pretty good. Birgitte's like, we need Matt Bloody Coffin's luck today. And she's like, what'd you say? I'm like, yeah, Matt Bloody Coffin.
What you talking about, Willis?
Like, haven't you seen him dicing? She's like, well, dicing? Ew.
Never.
Barf. Ew, gag me at the spoon. Everyone's like, Lane and Andor. All these cries, all these crossbowmen, halberds, all this stuff. Quote, another Taishar. Quote, his body lying atop the men in the street and jerking.
Oh no!
Taishar!
That's funny.
And they're all smashed. Even Birgitte's like, oh, quote, They're jammed together too tightly, Brigitte said excitedly. They can't raise a bow, much less draw one. I'll wager the dead don't even have room to fall down. It won't be long now. Can you imagine? You're like, hey, Frank, hey, Frank. And Frank's all, I can't fall.
He can't fall over. He's leaning on you too hard.
Frank, you're kind of leaning on me. And Frank's just like, just dead on you. You're like, Frank. Doing a total Weekend at Bernie's on you.
Weekend at Bernie's, yeah.
Yeah.
Do they all have sunglasses on?
Yeah. And that weird smirk. They're all.
Yeah. This weird, like, rigor mortis, like, smirk. Where you're, like, not sure what's going on.
So,
The Mona
boom.
Lisa slap.
They win. It doesn't even take a half hour. Boom. Finally, they're all, quarter. I quit. Oh, stop. They're like, okay. They bring in the 6 people who were like in charge of all the things. Like, was it the 6? Amarilla, Nan, Elena, and 3 more. She's like, you're gonna be hanging out with me. Your Ramson's gonna pay for all this shit. I'm gonna bankrupt you. I'm gonna take your land. I'm gonna take your husband. I'm gonna take your man. How you like that? Quote, she wondered how they would enjoy sharing a bed with Naren. All right, how about this? Quote, something grim entered Sylvace.
Gross.
All right.
Gross.
All these people start standing for Turkan. Baron stands for Turkan. Ashar stands for Turkan. Emerald is like, you traitors! But she had 9 of the 10 houses. 9. And she's like, hey, Brigitte is like, aren't you happy? No. She's like, all right, you guys leave. We'll have dinner tonight. Like, yeah, we welcome you. Turkan welcomes you.
You guys find this as exhausting as the parent stuff?
Love it. And then she's like, Brigitte is like, you're quiet. And she's like, don't worry. My plan's still in action. Dun, dun, dun. And that's pretty much how it ends. In a few hours, I'll learn whether I have to win another.
That's pretty much the end of that.
Anything about this? It's pretty much her point of view getting freed, and then we find out what's happened. There, she gets people on her side who just were fighting against her, I think.
Hey, Joe.
Okay,
Can you tie that? Can you tie the Pattern Fane dagger to the tip of that thing? We got to make this more accurate.
Yeah, sorry. Let me fix that.
Yeah. Use duct tape, please. All right. Yes, go ahead, Carrie.
Okay, so when the nobles were captured and she was confronting them, and she basically explained to them that she was pulling the strings with the Borderlanders all this time. And they also asked about her thoughts towards the Black Tower, and at that moment is when they shifted their opinion towards her, and they swore to her. And
I think actually that occurs in 35 in the importance of dialogue. Yeah.
Oh, am I jumping ahead?
Yeah, a little bit. We're still at 33.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah.
But,
How dare you? I'm kidding.
Let's just say that, like, these next couple chapters with Elaine, and I hate to admit this on air, but I'm starting to like her a tiny bit.
This is quite the.
I know.
Wow.
I went from being so pissed off at her when she got kidnapped.
Wait, why? Why do you like her?
Because she's smarter than she appears to be, and she's very much acting as a queen, where she's very manipulative and she gets what she wants done, and she always thinks a few steps ahead. She's really smart, and
I agree. I so 100% agree with you, Carrie. Like, the character arc of Egwene and Elaine, I mean, Rand's come a long way, as has Perrin, as has Matt, but like, the two girls have far outpaced them in terms of like development of becoming who they need to be in order to like execute the game plan to save the world. Like Elaine has so come into her nature of being a queen. It's funny that she still doesn't know her mother. Will she ever know within the book that her mother is alive and reneged on the throne in order for her to become queen? You know, like
Sky Scroll says, Morghese is a dumb quitter that should have done better.
Well,
Oh wow!
Imagine if you had been mind controlled by a Forsaken.
Hey, I live with Case and I. I'm under her spell
all the time.
24/7.
All the time, Ryan goes to that.
Wow!
And Joe, I like that Ashandari better.
Wow!
Yeah, with
Look,
the tied on
Ryan,
string.
you've never had any volition. That's a different thing.
Oh shit!
This is wow.
I'm an automaton.
I agree with Mistress Dovey here. Fail is fine. I don't know why she went for such a loser. Totally agree, 100%.
Okay,
don't know.
Dovey, I want to
He's
know:
so strong.
are Roland and Fael a better couple than Fael and Perrin?
Oh,
Yeah, they were a power couple.
If Perrin
they're
had
more
died to
believable
Roland, would you be happier?
Way more
What
believable.
if Roland had been the one to show up as Perrin at Tarmangaiden? I mean, we don't know what happens yet, obviously, but
Okay, we don't have time to assess that.
fuck you, Dovey.
Mr. Joe, you have a request? Can you make it a spoon instead?
Oh, of course, yeah.
I think she's hungry.
Oh my gosh. Joe, I love your work. It's so pretty. You're so amazing. So talented. Look at this. Cheese and
It
rice.
reminds me of that villain from Star Wars, Joe. From The Mandalorian. Like,
Oh,
the
yeah.
dude- yeah.
This
It looks
reminds you
like-
of the Mandalorian?
Boba
Not the
Tea?
Mandalorian himself, but the like guy with the tubes coming out of his neck who like shows him down in the like Western town.
The guy from Deadwood. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the guy from Deadwood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that face reminds me of Tom, your co-host, Joe.
Oh, all right. Good to know. That's exactly what I was trying to do.
Tom?
This is
Oh
Tom.
my
You doing too, buddy?
god.
Really great. All right, let's jump to chapter 34. If we're done with Elaine, are we done with Elaine?
I'm never done with Elaine. I'll tag that body until
Nice,
it's.
Deacon.
Sorry.
We will.
Can we have
Bosom.
Can we have like a Bella cleanse moment here?
Bella
not
Cleanse! All right, let's go. We haven't done this one in a while.
Okay, carry
I
on.
love when Dan deep throats the mic. There.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it. You gotta commit. You gotta commit to loving that
I might
mic.
put it all the way in there.
All right, so a cup of calf. This is chapter 34, and this is Buric Karidi. Buric Karidi, he is at a camp, a Saldan camp in East Central Altura. And he is having a nice coffee meeting with Gamel Loan, L-O-U-N-E. How do you pronounce this? Gamel Loune.
Where is it?
It's a cup of calf. It's maybe the 10th
No, I'm in the chapter, but which
Game
paragraph is it?
It's like the 12th paragraph, maybe. Let's see.
12th paragraph? Oh my god.
Okay.
9, 10, 11, 12. I was right.
Okay, how do you spell it?
Begins with a G. It's right in the front, the first. Gamel? Gamel. Gamel Unfilters.
Oh, Gamaloon?
Loon. Yeah, Loan. What do you think, Josh? Gamel or Gamel?
I'm still not fucking seeing it.
It doesn't matter. So they drink some
Camel Loon, yeah, Loon.
Loon. Okay. The best part of waking up is some fucking calf, guys.
I was drinking coffee when I was reading that chapter.
They have flavor crystals. They have he's like, oh, do you want Truvia or
Stevia?
honey? Yeah, stevia. Do you want whole milk or oat milk? Half and half.
Oh, somebody's on Discord.
Apparently it was the pure iJazz Mountains brew, and if so, very expensive. Calf from the iJazz Mountains. Woo-hoo. He tells Kadiri about all the skirmishes. He's like, quote, over the last week, there have been 4 sizable engagements and upward of 60 ambushes, skirmishes, and raids, many quite large, all spread out across 300 miles. We can't find them, and nobody has an eyeless idea where they came from. Kariti's sipping his calf. He's like, yeah, okay. He's like, well, their commander's very good. And he's like, finds out that they're going to the Malvid Narrows, which is, I think, where Matt is.
It is indeed.
We also one of the characters we meet is Hartha. Hartha is the first gardener, commander of all the Ogier and the High Lady Tuon's bodyguard. There's a bunch of Ogier leaning on their long-hafted black tassel axes. Now, there's a saying with Loyal that goes something about putting a long handle on the axe.
Yeah, it means you're a war Ogier.
Or you're being hasty, though, too, right? Isn't he use that metaphor?
I don't recall.
Is that a wooden spoon?
But anyway,
yeah, it's a big spoon. You got to make it a big spoon.
Do you think Loyal's
Dory
and they're aware of these Ogier?
Probably. I mean, where have we seen the battle Ogier before? I think it's been mentioned briefly once.
So, remember Loyal and Master Haran? What's the name of the
Hammond?
Master? Yeah, Hammond. Right. Hammond and Loyal grabbed these long-handled axes off the wall that were on display in the Ogier common room in the castle they were in before going out to fight the Trollocs. Correct. And they do it in a way that's like they know what to do when they do this, right? But I think you're right, Dan. It is a metaphor for like acting too hastily. But Loyal, we saw in those same chapters, is sort of leaning into his role as a prophet of the Ogier engaging in the human. I feel like it's sort of like the elves weighing in Rings of Power to like fight for the humans in the face of Mordor.
Okay.
Is that right? Like Loyal is the prophet of fighting on the side of the lesser beings, these like short-lived little people who live their lives at a fast pace and high energy, right?
I guess my question is, do you think that Loyal and Elder Hammond are aware of the existence of these cousin Ogier across the pond?
No. They don't need to live in the steading, so why would they? They're so different from the steading Ogier. Like,
well, are there steading in Seanchan?
We don't know, but these have been on warfare for a number of months at this point, and they don't seem bothered by being there.
Okay.
We know they're literally Death Watch Guard who are Ogier.
Right.
So clearly they aren't like going off part-time to live on the steading and like not act with human affairs if the blood have them as part of their bodyguard.
Okay.
I mean, not to sound critical or presumptuous, but I probably think both of this.
I mean, like, my iPhone helps me out, but I still got to charge it up. Like, you don't think they got to charge those batteries up?
Yeah, go ahead, Kate.
Wouldn't they need steading wouldn't they exhibit signs of the longing? Just because they're Ogier warriors doesn't mean they don't.
What we don't know that the longing hasn't set in since the time the Shanshan left Ranland to go to Xi'an, right? Like, so many things have happened since then, since the breaking, that are different from that make.
Loyal talks about it and it's been not long at all since he left.
Well, how do we know that Loyal is right, or that they even have any clue about where they came from? Okay. They talk about leaving this reality. How do we know that they're? I mean, we would assume that they know their origins.
We don't know that Arthur Hawkwing brought a whole bunch of Ogier with him, like Noah.
Well, they certainly didn't conscript these Ogier in Randland to fight for the Shanshan. They had to have brought them on the fucking ships.
Unless they were just everywhere in the planet.
Yeah, what if they were just over there?
Like, there's tigers all over the world.
Yeah.
Shut up, Ryan. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about right now.
No, there are tigers everywhere.
Wow, Josh,
I mean, there's tigers all over the goddamn world. I love you.
I went to Detroit. There was a tiger.
Josh. Oh, fuck, yeah. Their whole team's named after it.
You're making me want to leave the show right now. Jesus.
They're ubiquitous.
Oh my gosh.
Lions too.
Josh, put on your big girl panties.
There's definitely lions. Yes. There's definitely tigers in Detroit. Everyone knows this.
All right,
we'll move on. We'll move on from this.
What Akasi really wants to know what Kay and Carrie have to say about what Josh is saying.
About what?
About the Ogier. Are these? Does Loyal know about these warrior Ogier? Is this a known thing on Randland Ogier?
I'm thinking yes, but he's just not openly talking about it. Like he knows about them, but he's not talking about it. Theory, I don't know.
Is that where the long handle came from? Like,
what textual evidence can you provide for that? Is what I want to know.
I can't provide any. I'm just going off of gut feelings.
I
like it.
I mean, well, I could say that long-handled thing.
Sounds good.
Oh, I'm gonna have to put a long handle on my axe. I mean, it could be a reference to what these actual warrior Ogier do.
So are you asking about why is their battle gear different? Or like
no, I'm saying that there's Ogier. The Shanshan have some Ogier that are bodyguards that are warriors. They have big long axes. I'm wondering if Loyal and all his friends in the steading are aware that there are other Ogier in this world that are actual warriors and are bodyguards.
Oh, yes, they are. They're aware of it. Didn't they talk about it before, like in their history of stuff? They talked about how, like, the Ogiers are very peaceful unless they have to be otherwise, I think. Something like that.
Right.
Anybody verify this?
Yeah, they kept mentioning but you never want to make an ogre angry or something like that because they're
because they're like 10 feet tall.
I mean, they're huge, and I'd imagine like
angering a Chewbacca.
Angering a Chewbacca.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to piss them off.
You in chess.
You know, so I mean, yes, I do think that Loyal and the other Ogier are well aware that there are at least other Ogier that are fully capable of it, and I feel like they're probably fully capable of fighting themselves if they want to or need to. Then they can like switch into that. They can code switch.
Right.
I mean, I agree that the Ogier can code switch, but I don't agree. I'm gonna counter in here and say I don't think that the Ogier in Randland know that there are Shanshan Ogier who are warrior lords and don't have to be in a steading.
You don't
I've
think?
seen no textual evidence to support that Randland Ogier have any clue that the Shanshan have Ogier Gardner soldiers at their beck and call for the blood. We've
I
not
mean, the
That's
gardener
my
thing
question.
is really a perfect cover. You need to go to war, you're gardening, you've got all the tools you need right there. It makes a whole lot of sense.
I'm going
That
to
is
use
like
my
the best
fucking Christmas
cover.
onion.
Oh, my
Yes.
electric bush mower has saved me from many an invasion.
Those tools are no joke.
Totally.
Safety first.
Josh,
Safety, no, it's safety third, Chris.
the only problem I have with what you're saying is that you're assuming that the Ogier Gardeners don't have steading or like places to be to like
Well,
off the longing. That's
Yeah,
the
where's your
part where I'm like,
where's your
why is that? Why
textual
are you
evidence?
assuming that? Like where
okay.
everything
So
your house you're
let's
saying makes
let's assume the Ogier aliens, or okay. My theory is still that the Ogier are genetic anomalies from. Well, all right. I'm done.
Yeah.
So if the Ogier are genetically manipulated humans,
like a Trolloc?
like like an orc in Lord of the Rings. I don't know how to better like
okay,
how the orc are actually the children of elves who are genetically manipulated.
Okay,
I think the Ogier are the children of humans who were genetically manipulated, and therefore the steading is sort of like their lost zone. But not all. Some of them have been freed from that by being taken away from Randland on ships, living in another place where there weren't steading. All of the ones who couldn't take it dying off, and then their bloodline being reborn from the hardened Ogier who didn't require the steading.
All right,
well, that's certainly more badass. But I guess I
have no
I don't
reason to
understand
believe
your
that
assumption.
either.
Your
But that's
assumption
what my
is that
fantasy
they're
is.
going over there on the ships with them. And
Yes,
they're not
that-
already there.
Yes, that when the Shanshan left Randland, they took Ogier with them.
Okay.
Nice guy. Yeah.
That's nice, bro.
So yeah, I guess they speak human. They have 2 eyes and ears, a nose, a mouth. They have digestion. Their heart's probably in the same place. They probably have a liver. You know, they're
If you take an
humanoid.
Ogier in the balls, do they not crumple?
Well, that's the question.
Do Ogiers not dream?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does Wolfman have
Do
hearts?
Ogiers not
Thank
have
you, Chris.
feelings?
Right? Why
Love
does
you,
Wolfman
Josh.
have hearts?
Okay, yeah. Does Lawyer have hearts?
You're so good, Chris. I
Ogier
love
cries, is
I
it
love
not salty?
100% true, Chris.
Well, now I'm interested.
Look him right in the balls.
Do they?
Guys, this chat, you guys are great. Thank you for not answering the questions that are being postulated by our first-time readers. You guys are doing great.
I'm intentionally not looking at chat today.
Yeah, that's why you're so happy.
Yeah.
Don't look at them. They'll just bring you down. It's nothing but fucking vitriol.
All right, let's jump into chapter 35. You want to do that? So
Yes.
Do it.
okay. All right, it's called the
Okay, but
importance of guidance.
first, Karede's throat tightened.
Yes. That works.
Okay. Now we can move on.
All right. All right, chapter 35. The importance.
Wait,
of
one
guidance.
more.
Oh, please.
I waited till the others left since there's hardly enough for you anymore.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I
Right.
like that.
Very nice.
The way it was read really helped too.
Josh is like
Good.
slipping right into method acting mode.
I love it.
I need a drink. Sorry.
He's like
That'd be
becoming
great.
each character.
Elaine is in the tower, and in her palace, and it is a thunderstorm.
Can I say one thing about Karidi?
Please.
Karide? The dude is a fucking badass.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like a true
agreed.
fucking badass.
Yeah.
There were
just-
some things that we
I'm glad you
forgot.
said that.
Go ahead, Carrie.
Okay, so in the last chapter of Cup of Calf, he kept bragging about how the other side has good commanders, and we need to find Tom Maryland. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. What? Yeah, and I guess that's a funny way that military intelligence can get a little skewed, right?
Yeah.
But we find, I mean, it's easily corrected. Tom's like, "Oh, I'm just a gleeman. You want Lord Matt?"
Yeah.
You know. But I would have loved if he's like, "What do you want to ask me, my boy?"
It is neat to see another side of the. It is neat to see another side of the Shanshan where like we don't have a whole lot of Shanshan internal POVs other than like Karidi and Tuan.
Uh-huh.
And they both like I don't know if you've read oh god, what is that? What are the three Brandon Sanderson series? There's
Mistborn?
Brandon
Stormlight
Sanderson,
Archive?
Stormlight Archives. If you read the first book of the Stormlight Archives,
Yeah.
there's something very similar between like Karidi and the like anti-hero in the first book of the Stormlight Archives.
Paladin.
No, Dalaman or
The like assassin dude.
Storm Shadow.
We're the worst.
Mystique.
We're so the worst. But
Previously,
Isn't that
Wolverine.
mentioned? He's a ninja. He dresses all in white. I remember it. His name's Storm
yeah,
Shadow.
yeah,
Yeah, and
absolutely.
he flips the walls around and does weird shit.
Shazoo.
I feel like Karidi is kind of the equivalent to that, where like he's just a badass, and he's like he knows he's strong enough to encounter whatever is there, and he has no fear. And that's like what that hero of the Stormlight Archives has too, right? This just like unreasonable lack of fear in the face of doing what they need to do because they feel like they've been cursed to it.
Greedy didn't get a detective job for a good reason. It's that one mark on his record, huh, DK? You know what? That's a good question, Brian. How come no one ever is a good ass? No, he's a badass. Greedy's a badass.
Good ass means something different.
A good ass? Yeah. No, I guess there's good ass.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if you're a good ass, I feel like you're a good piece of ass. That's how I interpret that.
Or you're stuck up one or the other, right?
A good ass? Maybe like a goody two shoes ass?
Yeah, is
that what you're thinking?
Goody two shoes ass. Yeah.
Obviously.
Right, so this is
goody two shoes ass.
Obviously. This is a Elaine point of view, and she has just received a request from like all her foes outside the city for safe passage into Camelot to talk to them. She's like, fine, okay. She writes kind of a curt letter saying, "Yeah, I'll let you in. We need to talk about the Borderlanders." And that's what happens. They all kind of come in.
I agree with this.
Real fast. Squirrel. So before that though, there was like she gets one of the. First of all, they talk about maybe hiring a questioner because they don't have their own. I don't know, like special ops torturers people in Andor, so they may have to hire some or look at. I don't know. They're looking at nefarious shit. But it also says, quote, "I fear the sewers in the southern part of the new city need attention urgently." Now, what kind of damage has been going on with the city under siege that they Are they fixing sewers like all the time? Are there like, oh, the gate broke again? Got to fix the gate again. They try to break it down. We need new hinges. Do you think there's repairs just all the time going on?
Yeah.
I didn't think about it, honestly. I didn't think about it at all. I haven't thought about it.
They don't even have indoor plumbing, bro.
They have sewers.
They just poop in holes that fall into the ground and it rolls around in a river down there.
Well, apparently they got to do something. It says it needs attention.
Rolls around in a river.
Wait, are we on Under an Oak?
What's that?
Right? Under an Oak? That's the 36, right?
The chapter, it's called The Importance of Dylan.
God damn it. How do I always do this? Okay, sorry.
Under an Oak, I don't even see that one.
That's the next one, I think.
IRL Roof Mistress says, is the city overcrowded now?
That's a good question, too.
It's just a big backup down there.
Well, I don't know if they're letting refugees in. I don't know. That's a good question.
Here, this will give you an idea of their plumbing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you.
Okay, an idea of the plumbing. A loud, steady plunk, plunk, plunk echoed in the vast space. Drops falling into a prosaic wooden basket.
See? Yeah, they
wooden basket?
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, Ty Sharp. Quote.
Like
she smelled
London
that too, and even dipped a finger in and licked it.
Ew.
Yeah,
Ty Sharp.
But that was her midwife. Her midwife was tasting her pee. She could tell maladies just from the acidity, perhaps. But they all laughed. They're like, "Oh yeah, imagine having a boy be a midwife." Oh God!
A mid-husband.
A mid-husband. All right, guys. I want you to rate this meal that Elaine has for lunch, 1 through 10. Carrie, we'll start with you, okay? This is small pound trout grilled to perfection, cabbage rolls stuffed with crumbly white ooze milk cheese, broad beans with pine nuts, and a tangy apple tart. 1 to 10, would you eat this or say no thanks?
I'm going to say 8. I love the food descriptions on the box.
An 8. An 8. Yeah. Yes.
I don't know about that mystery cheese.
Ooze cheese? Oh, crumbly ooze.
I want that apple tart.
I want the trout grilled to perfection. And
perfect trout and a little tart. I love it.
Scale
11 out of 10, Dan.
11 out of 10.
11 out of 10.
Joe, what do you give it? 1 out of 10.
Oh, trout. Trout was the main part of the meal, right?
Trout was the main part. Grilled to perfection.
1 out of 10.
Fuck trout. Who eats trout?
1 out of 10.
You don't go to a restaurant and order
Joe. To perfection.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
It's obvious you've never been to
water. I'm not interested.
It's obvious you've never been to North Carolina, Rigel, because trout is like the top menu item in many restaurants.
Oh yeah, probably.
You're showing your California nature.
Dan, did we ever eat trout when we were kids?
I think we had cod.
We had filet of fish,
we had
sole.
Trout is look, guys. Trout is freshwater fish, not a fucking ocean fish. Get it right.
That's not what we're talking about, but that's fine.
God damn.
I asked if we ate it as a children. Not
in Dan's like, oh yeah, we had cod.
Get it right.
Cod. We had
it's fine.
fish.
Josh is like, hey, schooled everybody. What?
You guys are fucking embarrassing me, okay? Your lack of knowledge.
What? I eat no fucking trout. Who eats trout?
I would give it an 8.
I love trout.
I don't know. I don't like cabbage so much.
I love fish.
I would say 7 to 8.
I eat fish.
The broad beans with pine nuts. You know how much pine nuts are in the stores now? I bought pine nuts. I bought like 8 ounces, and it was like $19.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like $40 a pound.
Yeah, so
you know where pine nuts come from, right?
Pine nuts is gourmet.
And where are pine nuts from? Like what plant does a pine nut come from?
They call them pignolias, but I don't know.
Yes.
It's literally the nut inside of a pine cone.
The tiny little nut, and then what do? You just dig.
You gotta fucking take them all out of the pine cones, motherfucker.
Wait, is it like just one nut inside of a big cone?
No, each cone has like 16 to 60.
16 to 60.
That's a big range.
Any average pine cone,
harvest
this is turning into a whole thing.
Why do I feel like if I ask Siri how many nuts are in a pine cone, it'd be 16 to 60.
There's different species that they're harvested from, but yeah.
Obviously.
Taishar, quote, enjoying sharing a bed. She knew the thought should not give her pleasure, but it did.
Oh,
yeah, because in Randland you're supposed to be done with little girl things when you're a woman. You're supposed to move past that shit.
We hear that Brigitte is sober October. She's given up drinking. She's like,
that's why she's so pissed,
baby. Yeah. So I wonder, so why? Elaine can totally just drink and smoke and smoke crack and do heroin and stuff. The baby's fine. Baby's gonna be fine.
I know. It's like learned helplessness.
Based on the last chapters.
Baby's gonna be fine.
Doesn't she know that it's gonna live? It's gonna live though. It's not necessarily going to be healthy.
Okay.
No, it's crazy. Elaine.
You need to consider the ultimate health. I'm just saying. Pregnant women have more to think about.
I saw Elaine in a card show. She was in one car, and then she was waving, and then she climbed into another car.
Right,
yeah.
What? That's crazy. So she those people come. All her enemies come meet her.
She let all her enemies come. That's
all her enemies come. Oh, they all come.
They all come.
No, one at a time. One at a time. In order. Elorian is talking shit. She's like, "Oh, I see you got all your kids with you. I see you got your little baby houses and your little pussy houses. Yeah, that's you guys look so cute together. You must feel so cool." Elaine's like, not biting. They're like, "All right, so what are you gonna do with the Borderlanders?" She's like, "The Borderlanders, I'd let them in, not as the queen, as an Aes Sedai. What are you going to tell me I can't do that? Look at my ring, dummies." They're like, "Well, she's got the ring. What are you going to do?" And she's like, "The Borderlanders are paying us bank, man. We're making money off these fools. They're not going to fight us, and if they did, they'd kill us. We suck, and they don't." They're like, "Okay, good point. What about the Black Tower?" She's like, "Nothing. I can't do anything. I go and I do visits. They're just tertiary, just so that I could, check it off the list. But gosh, I can't do anything there." And they're like, "Trakan has my support. All right, you have my support." She's like, "What?" All right, so let me ask you. This was not were her answers that spectacular?
No.
It was like she says nothing. I send guardsmen periodically to ride around the Black Tower grounds and remind them they are in Andor and subject to Andor laws. But aside from that, I can do no more than I could if the White Tower were somehow transported to Camelin. And then suddenly it's just, Hendar stands for Trakan. Right.
Well, remember how much respect Margase got for just going to the White Tower and being sent back as not worthy? This country of people put the Aes Sedai in such a place of high respect and regard. Thank you. Mm-hmm. That there is no separation between her being both who she is as the daughter of the current bloodline and all this complexity around changing the family who becomes 900 years it's been since there's been an emperor, right? There's a lot of socioeconomic and cultural baggage that comes along with keeping Elaine in power, based upon her being the daughter of Morghese. So much so that her competitor, Dylan, is like, I've known since you were a babe in swaddling clothes that I would support you because you're such the queen.
That shit's weird.
Can you do that Dylan impression again?
No, I loved it.
Such the queen.
Yeah, Sasha.
And this chapter is called The Importance of Dylan. Do you guys think that if Dylan hadn't...
Dylan could be like, I want to ascend to the throne at any point in this conversation, and everyone would go with her.
Mm-hmm.
But Dylan doesn't. She's seen Elaine under duress, pregnant, moody, still doing the right thing that a queen should do, despite us hating her for her ethics.
Despite getting caught.
And bitching the entire way because she's so pregnant and so emotional.
Not even
so
10
pregnant.
weeks. It's just like, I'm so pregnant.
Yeah, not even, like, what did they say? Like, just a chapter recently, they, like, referred to the fact that most women wouldn't even know they were pregnant at this point. And I was like, exactly. We've had this conversation.
Right.
So,
they're flipping out on
So
nothing.
ridiculous.
She looks great still. All her dresses still fit. Yeah, she looks fine.
She's going to be one of those women that doesn't even start popping until 7 months anyways, because she's just got that figure, you know?
She
just
brags
kinda like
that she hasn't been nauseous. Did you catch that?
She's
She's
going to
like,
be one of those. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
No
yeah, she's
morning
not even
sickness,
nauseous.
fucking quarter
No
one.
judgment
Swear to
there,
God.
but it's just like,
Fucking
oh, she's one of those.
Hey, never mind. Doesn't matter.
so Elaine gets the throne. She's like, quote, she still had the throne. There was still the coronation, but that was just a formality now. That whole party that like the whole town shuts down for a week. Yeah, it's just a formality. I'm the queen. I'm the queen. I get to sleep in her bed tonight. Yay.
So, I mean, this scene, okay, page 690 and 691 left me so convinced that Elaine and Egwene are essentially the same as Rand, Mat, and Perrin in terms of their Tavernness. Like, if this isn't Taverna at work, what is it? And why would it be different? Like, I know that as an author, like Robert Jordan never stands for these women as being Taveran, but what are we left to consider besides their Tavernness in the face of this shit, right? Like,
I didn't find their answers to be super like Elaine's like, oh, you are the leader we need from.
But within one paragraph, she's able to Taveran these other nobles into getting behind her, right? Like,
it says here, Pendar stands.
Go ahead, man. Sorry.
It says Pendar stands for Turkan. Abel said suddenly, and right atop him, Luan says Norwellen stands for Turkan. Lightning flashed overhead, brightening the colored windows in the city.
Right. So Adam's fucking family, like, why is there a storm going off if she's not Taveran? Like, clearly the fucking thunder is meant to be something going on. Like, how can you ignore, like, okay.
Go on.
Like, I can't even say it with a fucking straight face. How can you ignore the lightning and thunder going off as this shit is going down?
What?
Fuck you all. Like, no.
Wait, Josh, have you seen lightning correlated with other Taveran actions?
I mean, yes, and no. I mean, yes, in the sense of we hear thunder whenever there's a battle going on where Taveran are involved. Like when Perrin fights,
And we get lots of lightning, right? With like the
when
battles.
Perrin fights the Sanshan, it's like thunder going off. And
Yeah.
Fionnuala hears that shit and she's like, oh, something's going on. I know you hate. I know you hate
It rained today.
I love our chat so much.
I do too. Fuck, that's so amazing.
It's so good.
Despite your boot on my face, I'm gonna feel good. Okay.
Nice boot.
Dylan tries to make the whole thing unanimous. She's like, quote, the more you stand for her, the better for Andor. Dylan sounded a touch dazed herself. Dylan was dazed.
It's Ta'Veren, where she's like, Dylan sounded as much dazed herself. That's so what Rand or Perrin or Matt would say in the face of their Ta'Verenness.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I agree, but also
Super
like
true.
I want to argue though that everything you just said about how awesome Elaine is and how she's had a battle to like exonerate the family name, get the throne back, do it all while pregnant. All of those things are her amazing uniqueness and like her character and like if she's a D&D character, like she put all her stats in charisma. She's rolling D20s. Like I think that like, you know, the argument against it is that like, why are you taking away her like awesomeness and her agency and all that? Like,
How am I taking?
well,
like,
Ta'Veren is
Ta'Veren. I'm taking away her
robs the
awesomeness?
accomplishment of its own.
Okay,
story.
so hang on. Okay, so I'm hearing you.
Interesting.
I'm hearing you, and I want to say this.
Is he shooting himself, Joe? I don't get.
He's swirling
No,
the power
swirling.
around.
Or is
I
he
don't
giving
know.
himself
Have you
like
watched
a
the show?
back
It doesn't make any
massage?
sense.
He's here like I'm a 1 power back massage.
Is he giving himself a back massage?
Okay, sorry, go on. Which I would do every day. If I had the 1 power, I'd be shiatsuing my shit.
I think of it as like a
Oh my
summoning
God,
of the
that's
power.
so
I don't
funny,
know.
Ryan.
I don't know. How do you visualize that?
That's hilarious. Fuck. That's funny.
Looks like
Take
he's
one
gonna
down the
jump
back.
rope.
Oh, I can cover my face too.
Okay, just fuck. You're gonna make me forget what I have to say.
Okay, Ta'Veren,
Oh.
Elaine, and agency. Go on, go.
Sorry.
Okay, so so let's assume that only men can be Ta'Veren. Okay, that's the only thing we've seen. Men being Ta'Veren. How does that make you feel?
Oh, not good.
Okay, so if women can't be Ta'Veren because of the way the book is written, how does that make you fucking feel? Not good.
Wait.
We just said it.
But it doesn't mean that they're not.
We've not seen a single woman Ta'Veren. How does that make you feel? Carrie, Carissa.
It doesn't matter how I feel about it. It matters whether or not they are Ta'Veren or not, right? Or does I'm sorry.
Like, even if they don't say it out loud, they could still be it, right? I mean,
That's kind of what he said.
That's
yeah,
what
even
I'm
if they
thinking.
don't know that they
The
are,
fact
they
that-
could exactly carry.
The fact that Dylan looks dazed when Ta'Verenness strikes means that there's something going on.
Yeah, I
She's
agree.
she's not just doing this of her own accord. She looks fucking dazed,
Agreed.
like it says. Now, Elaine may not know she's Ta'Veren, and it may look different for women to be Ta'Veren than men. But I want to believe in a Randland where Ta'Verenness is not gender oriented. And that
I
only
fucking
men
hope
can be
not.
important enough to be Ta'Veren to change the pattern. Because that makes me feel like shit.
No,
I mean,
I think
I feel-
we've spoken lots of. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I mean, I feel like women and men can both be Ta'Veren, but only Rand can be, a male can only be the Dragon Reborn. So I think Ta'Veren is there across both genders. It's just not fully
Flushed
talked about because
flushed
I
out.
think the women don't realize what's going on.
Yeah, that I can see.
I think.
And that actually
I think you
fits.
also might be right, though. Like Josh, that might be affecting them in a different way. We might be seeing it like displayed and symptoms of it being exhibited in a completely different way. We maybe just haven't like picked up on some sort of coincidence between the women, perhaps, or maybe there isn't one, and maybe it's
I mean,
just.
I feel like this is something the show gets right in the sense of like it presents the 3 girls and the 3 boys
Take
as
that back.
both possibly being the Dragon Reborn, which means they all have to be Ta'Veren.
And we've
Yeah.
spoken about the way that like we think Egwene is Ta'Veren, like, and and in which ways, like especially early on, that we specifically thought that she's got to be Ta'Veren. We agreed Perrin is Ta'Veren, Mat is, Rand, like all of them, including Nynaeve, is Ta'Veren at some points.
So if we
but it's
assume,
again like when the pattern needs her to be, right? So
if we assume that Robert Jordan is.
Well, Josh Drinkflame here makes a pretty good point. Women had the power. Ta'Veren in this time was needed to set things straight.
Like males Ta'Verenness.
Yeah, like at this period of
offset.
time that you're reading, like it's
Right
not
there,
about, there's been strong women. There has been strong women.
No, we also have to remember that there are people with the talent to see Ta'Veren, so we'd have to literally go back and find out if there's any scenes with Swan and Elaine, because Shanche would have seen it.
Well,
unless it's turning on and off like a.
Unless she can only see male Ta'Veren.
It's like
at the end of the day, it's the pattern. The wheel wheels is the wheel wills is the wheel. What is it? Anyways, So it does that thing. Yeah. So that is like actually pushing all of the Ta'Verenness when it needs to happen, for whom it needs to happen, in what situation, location. All of it seems very much dependent.
You're totally right.
This thing, right? Like this bigger thing.
So let me get this off my chest. As a male of 2024 who has issues with masculinity as a concept as it's portrayed by our society.
Okay. Yeah.
What a pussy.
Owning this idea that Ta'Verenness can be different between males and females and that that's okay is hard. I don't disagree that that's what is going on in the text. But as a human in my moment, living my life in the way that I do, it's hard to accept.
Yeah,
and I
agree.
can accept
I
it.
I hear that.
I can accept it, but part of who I am is like not accepting that as a moment of like cultural identity and like awareness. And I get that that's like really also important. A moment in time, right? Like this was not written during our time. And I can see the beauty and like the complexity of that. But it's also hard to accept as who I am.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I totally hear
really
you.
Important though. Like, Josh, that's such an important thing because also, in the little bit that I heard with Robert Jordan at the end of the Audible book, he was talking about specifically like how the Wheel of Time like reflects different cultures and different religions and different aspects of points in time throughout generations of time. So, you know, like the things that you're speaking to, history repeats itself, and we have had like different versions of this kind of climate before, but nothing like, and for lack of a better word, I'm going to say climate. Sorry, I don't.
No, so cool. Okay, no,
language on my part, but it's really
totally
cool that you're talking about that, and I love it.
Yeah,
I respect it a lot, and I'm glad that you spoke to that.
I get how it really does represent like all of these different aspects. It's definitely a fusion. Like coming from a culinary background, it's a fusion of different cultures and ideas, right? Like, and noting that and respecting that as its moment in time is important, but also like seeing how our own experience of the world at the moment we live in affects our ability to perceive that and experience that in a real way. Like, I think if I had read this in 2004 or whatever it was, I would have experienced it differently than I do in 2024 as who I am now, right? So,
yeah. No, I hear it.
Sorry, you can go on.
Yeah,
Carrie,
that's amazing.
Yeah,
you're right. That's amazing, Josh. Thank you for sharing that. Well said.
Let's plow. Let's plow. We got 31 people here. They want to see the end of this book. How are you doing, Carrie? You doing all right?
I was leaning more towards putting a bow on it, but that's just me.
Well, no, yeah, we get. Well, no, that's.
I mean, guys, are we gonna plan on taking a week off before we start the next book, or are we going into it right away?
Yeah, we always take a week off so everyone can make sure to get the book, to read it, and just so we can.
Carrie, they'll take 3 weeks
mental
off
health.
if you need it.
We'll take 3 weeks off. No, let's end it. Let's
end
go.
it then.
Yeah,
we're getting tired.
we will finish chapters 36 and 37 and the epilogue.
And
next week.
And the glossary.
Oh, and the glossary.
I did not finish the glossary, I have to say.
I have 10 pages left on glossary.
You read the glossary?
I love
did
the
not read
glossary.
the glossary.
There's
I
so
haven't
many
either.
notes there.
I never read the glossary anytime I read the books.
This glossary has a
I'm disappointed.
surprisingly large
Spoiler ratio.
large thing on currency. It describes currency pretty in depth here. It's quite the entry.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll talk about that next week. Sorry we couldn't finish. We got held
Too
up
much
last
fun.
week. Too much fun. So we will
So
finish
much
next week.
fun.
We have a show this Sunday. We are going to be talking about all the special powers that exist that are not one power necessarily related. Right, Ryan? The talents. We're
Yep.
talking about, sniffing.
All the talents.
Wolf Brother. We're talking, all that stuff. The Taveran seeing. We're talking all kinds of talents. That's on Sunday.
See,
and
that's the
a
other thing.
full
The
spoiler.
smelling, the parents smelling things is just so fucking weird. I cannot get through one of those chapters without just snickering and laughing. Like, what the fuck am I reading?
Okay, remember we had someone who could smell violence and would be like, "Ew, there was a big fight
I know, I
here.
did a
It
whole
smells like
skit
shit."
About Herod
Right.
Yeah.
before I knew anything. I was just reading that.
So yeah, we will. We'll see you next week. You guys are all awesome people. I'm glad you're doing well. Use your blinker when you're driving, guys. It helps humanity.
Yeah.
Return your shopping cart. Don't leave it
Every
in a
week
space.
you lecture us about this, Dan, but it's true.
Yeah.
Use your fucking blinkers, people.
Yeah, just
God
be good
damn it.
people. I love you and I'm proud
He'll
of you.
just
Ryan,
do it. Dan won't have to say it anymore.
I won't have to say it.
I love you,
if
Dan.
just do it. I saw one of you not doing it.
Just do it.
Drive fast and take chances.
All right. All of
Thanks,
that.
everyone. Thanks for putting up with
Bye,
the
good
shit
night.
today. It was so
Stay
good
on
talking to y'all.
Discord. Josh, it was your best show
I love
ever.
you, Josh.
I
You're
love you, Josh.
amazing.
Yeah,
Love
you
you
guys are
guys.
awesome. And
All right,
we'll
everyone.
finish
Love you
next
guys.
week.
As always,
Run for your life.
Run
run
for
for
your
your
life.
lives. This is